Hi, I'm and welcome to Bobo, where this James Beard award-winning chef creates pan-European cuisine in a cozy clubhouse atmosphere. So let's go behind the burner and meet the chef. We're here with Chef Patrick Connolly. Patrick, what are you making for us today?
We're going to make a roasted chicken breast with some braised artichokes, some roasted shiitake mushrooms, and a garlic and parsley sauce.
Let's get started.
Okay. Let's start with the artichokes, but you just want to kind of pull back on it and let it snap off at the bottom of the leaf there. And
I'm finding this very interesting because I remember my method of taking my knife and carefully going around the artichoke.
Right, well I'm just not there yet. This is the first step. So you want to get to about that point. And then cut down, right down here is where the choke begins. Just take the flour off, okay? And then I cut there. And I go to a paring knife and just start to work around. Yeah. The goal is to get the dark green out. And they're pretty volatile in terms of how quickly they oxidize. So we have our artichoke pretty much turned. We want to make quick work of this choke. Go around the inside of it. And we'll scoop it out. I'll take a lemon. It's just like an added step I like to do. Just squeeze it right in the cup and then rub it in and then just go all around with the lemon
juice. To preserve that color.
Just to preserve the color, just like that one added step. I mentioned, just make a nice acidulated water and drop your artichoke in there. You see it comes and floats at the top, just a bit of it sticks up.
Right, you gotta throw a little oil on.
So if you put a little bit of oil in the top, and it doesn't have to be olive oil, it's any kind of oil, that'll sort of coat that top layer so that it's not air getting to the artichoke.
So we got our fennel going.
Got the fennel going there,
got the red
about a half
onion.
a head. These are little Thumbelina carrots, and really for something like this, if you're using it for a mirepoix for a stock, you don't have to use fancy carrots, but this is what we had lying around. So
I noticed you've got this amazingly fine slice going on, and that happens from an extra sharp knife and also an extra good knife.
Right.
And your knives of choice are?
My knife of choice is, they're called MKS Design. They're from a friend of mine in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So we're going to start with a pretty generous amount of olive oil in a pan here, depending on how much you're doing. Okay, and we're just going to sweat these vegetables. So we have our mirepoix nice and sweated here. We're going to take our artichoke.
Well preserved.
Well preserved. Going to hit it with a little bit of chicken stock. Now, generally in a restaurant, you have a lot of pots, but you have no lids. So we do what we call a cartouche. You take a piece of parchment paper and you fold it in half. Then you fold it in half again. And this here is your center, okay?
Right.
So you roll a cone, mark it here where the rim is, cut it there, and then cut it here. That's our little vent in the center. So there you have it. It fits perfect, thanks to the measurement. And then if we go back on the stove. So we have our chicken breast here, season the skin, and you also, on chicken, any kind of meat that tapers from one end to the other, where it's thicker on one end, go a little bit heavier on the seasoning on the thicker end.
Got some aromatics.
Yeah, just putting a little bit of fresh herbs in there. So as the skin is getting nice and crispy, I'm just putting a bit of butter in there and letting the flavor of the herbs come in. Flip my chicken, and then I'm just going to baste. And then we're going to go in the oven. We're going to start with our garlic parsley sauce, which is with the double cream, pureed with the garlic that was blanched 3 times.
Your fancy garlic technique.
So they all go into a bowl. Bowl of similar size. You start to bust the garlic. The sugar from the garlic sticks to the side of the bowl, which then tears the skin off.
So Patrick, I feel like I'm eating in someone's dining room.
That's the whole point.
And I have this lovely dish in front of me. So you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So again, we have our roasted chicken breast, where we slowly crisp the skin and then finish it off in the oven with some sauteed shiitake mushrooms, some braised artichokes on barragoul, and a garlic parsley sauce.
The chicken is so juicy. It's cutting through so easily with my fork and knife.
It's true. You don't need a steak knife.
You don't need a steak knife. You know what's so delicate and beautiful about this dish is the aroma and the flavor of the sherry.
It complements the earthiness of the mushroom, and but it also lifts it up because this is a very comforting dish, but not very acid forward. So it just brings it up a little bit, makes it nice and bright.
So thank you, Patrick, so much for this delicious meal paired
My
with
pleasure.
a beautiful Riesling.
Yes, very nice.
Cheers, and
Cheers.
thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Behind the Burner members can enjoy this exclusive opportunity to purchase Chef Patrick Connolly's favorite knives from MKS Design. Stay tuned to Behind the Burner, where we give you the tips, tricks, and techniques that are lighting the culinary world on fire.